share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadet. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
Grand Rising, everybody. We are so excited to be here this morning. I'm bringing in my guest, the Rockstar Coach, Michelle Froedge. Let me just bring her on. Hello. So, apparently I didn't take care of this background. So, this is an exciting show today, and we're talking about shifting your mindset about healing, right? Which, for me, that's my love language, right? It's my jam. And I've really had to shift it, actually, even more in the last 3 weeks. I've had to make some major changes that were completely. I had to learn more. So we're going to talk about that because I think that, as you know, Michelle, God teaches us so that we can teach others, especially you and I. He does that for everybody, but it really shows up a lot for you and I, right? So I'm just going to kind of talk about real quick, read our show description. So shifting your mindset about healing, right? So we want to know, are you confused about how to pursue your health, right? And do you know if you're participating in sick care or are you participating in healing? And one, which is sick care, is masking, and one gets to the root cause, which is healing. And all disease, wait for it, starts with your thoughts. Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it, but don't really smoke, okay? Because I really don't want you to smoke. Just saying. So how do we manifest good thoughts and self-love in a world where we have been programmed differently than that? And then I'm going to add a line to this description. And where is that programming coming from? Right? Ooh. Well, Andrew and I watched a show last night. It was on Rapture. It was on Amazon or something. I don't know what it was on. He navigates the TV because I don't even know how to use it anymore. It got complicated. When they have 50 million channels, right? And so, um, the commercials the show was great. The commercials made me depressed. I got really depressed. Mhm. And every other commercial well, each every time there was a commercial, they ran, you know, I won't say which company it was, but a big pharma, right? And they're showing people, a woman, a child, or no, it wasn't a child, adult people though, walking into a store, and they're indicating what vaccine they're getting. Like, not, relative to us, but it was for, I don't even remember what it was for. Doesn't matter. Um, and there used to be a day where we were not allowed to promote drugs. And it occurs to me, um, you know, Big Pharma is the biggest drug dealer in the world. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Please don't, because if you do, I will go down a rabbit hole. Mhm. They're glamorizing it. They're they're glamorizing drugs. 2013 was the last time I watched, regular live TV. This was on a movie channel. Okay. Neither did I. Boom, drop dead. No. So, yeah, to me so I guess I should share 'cause we always get, like, new people here, so I'm gonna share my health journey. So and I think what might be easy to do, and it is I'll show pictures because, it's on my website, so that's just so we'll go here. So yeah, right? Um, and even if I don't like the way my body looks today, I'm still healthy. Yeah, yeah. So, for those that don't know, and I'll share the screen, um, I was a bodybuilder, I used to bench 185. Um, I was into protein shakes and barbells. However, I had unhealthy habits, like I was eating Twinkies before, my gymnastics workout and stuff like that. Yeah. And ho-hos. Ho-hos were a big thing, I'm just gonna tell you, and the Hostess cupcakes, so you get the cream out of the middle. Yeah, yeah, it was good. It tasted good, and the tex yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. They were delicious. They weren't really good for you, though, just, spoiler alert. They're not even made with real food. So, I mean, besides the sugar, I mean yeah, that is yeah, yeah, yeah. So, by 1997, fell down at work. I had actually a torn rotator cuff, 3 centimeter tear on the right and a 1 centimeter tear on the left. Nobody ever did a MRI or an X-ray. They sent me to a physical therapist. They without looking at it sent me to PT, and I'm like, but I'm in pain. Um, and she said the pain's all in your head. You need to go see a psychiatrist. And so I did, and I got misdiagnosed, put on, like, all these drugs, nearly died in 2013, and then, of course, reclaimed my health using plants and energy-based healing, which plant and energy-based healing, what connects you to the divine. Okay, so that's the story. So, I'm not really a big fan of drugs anymore, and the funny thing is I never was. I never really was. My mom offered me, Johnson& and Johnson, baby aspirin. Remember those? And I was, like, 4, and I looked at her like she cockeyed, like she was crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, um, so yeah, I mean, so that's my story. That's why I push plants and whole food diet, really. I know that you don't eat meat, but, I still do right now, and, um but as long as you're going whole foods and they're organic, meaning, uh, or responsibly produced, meaning we haven't inserted a bunch of chemicals. Because honestly, if anybody's listening, anybody who knows anything, there's really no such thing as organic, but there's responsibly produced. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so we didn't get to the part of what you were doing because I'm like, "Oh, the show's starting." You're working your garden beds. Love that's working the garden beds. Yeah, that's yeah. Moving? Are you flipping kidding me? You're the Rockstar Coach. You move like no one I see on stage. So let me share as a channel what I have done for people's ponds and for their um, dirt. Okay, so here's the recipe, everybody. Get your paper and pen and write this down. Yep. So in the pond, we'll start with that. I put in 1 bottle of lemon essential oil by doTERRA. What that does is it neutralizes any microplastics that are in the water, which we have a lot of it. I put in 1 bottle of cilantro because it handles the heavy metals. I put in 1 bottle of copaiba. This is all by doTERRA because what that does is brings homeostasis. And then I usually put in 1 bottle of oregano or clove because if there's any virus or disease or bacteria that's unwanted, it will neutralize that. And same thing for your I do this for some of the plants by our house because they're not even our plants, but it's the planet. So I blend all those in a big bottle of coconut oil and I pour it around the plants. So they're being nourished. Basically, they're being nourished by the land and not infiltrated by the toxicity that man brought to the land. Yeah, I think we did it once a quarter. Yeah, like once every 3 months. And then for the land, honestly, it's gonna depend on your land, but, I listen I mean, especially you, Michelle, as an intuitive, look at your plants, look how they're thriving, right? And if they look like they need some love and attention, I mean, I would just encourage you to, if you're listening, do a little meditation and ask spirit if they need it, or hire Michelle or I, one of the 2. And I'm pretty good at that, and I can do it from afar. So so we're gonna talk about shifting the mindset about healing, and so the first part we just talked about was how do we heal the land, right? And the water so that we can nourish ourselves with the food. And I think it's really important to make sure that we are not using these pesticides because not only are you hurting yourself, but you're hurting your food supply because you're killing off the bees. And I'm going to tell you, and you can call me a conspiracy theorist. That's fine. Um, we had all these, train derailments, right? And if you take a look at it, it's all by the waterways, right? There were more than one for those of you who don't know. And there's all these chemical fires, and we're in the spring. And what is the spring time? We have the bees, right? Yes, that too. And we're killing the fish with yeah. Right. So, I mean, you need to wake up and understand. Most of you are awake who listen to my show. Uh, but right. And for those of you, I hope, you guys are piping in this morning. There was an issue with Facebook, so, it didn't go live. Don't know why. There was some sort of disconnect, so I reconnected it, and we are live on Facebook now. So, yeah, so if you wanna let them know, but we're connected, but the thing is that when we're using chemicals or we have these train derailments or whatever it is that brings chemicals into the air, we're killing the bees, and the bees are pollinating our food. and we're killing the fish, and we're just yeah. So now that we know that, we can make a conscious choice, right? And one that there are three initiatives going on. There's so many initiatives going on, but one of the things I want to talk about today, not right this moment, but Michelle and I have an event for healing. There's an event tonight for healing, the Global Quantum Healing Initiative. That's tonight, like 12 hours from now. So there's a lot of ways that you can help, because when you go into prayer and you heal yourself, you can heal the rest of the planet heals. And one of the things that I created on what's that app? It's Telegram. There's a group, and we're going to be doing prayer and using our frequency devices. Let me just do this, like Healy and Beamer and any frequency device, and we're going to be sending that energy to the areas of concern to start healing the land. And mhm. Wow. This was what year? 2012? Mhm. Mhm. So I have a few stories about that. So first of all, spot on, absolutely correct. Um, and I wasn't even awake in 2012, so the same. I was waking up. I woke up after my son died. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I didn't wake up until after just before the Mayan calendar ended. Mhm. So, number 1, there's a story with Michael Murphy Burke, which he was on, a few weeks ago on February 14th. And we had so many people helping him to heal his heart that he opted out of dying. Just saying. Yeah. And we did that with prayer. The second thing, though, which I've never shared ever, It was 2018, 2019. And I had met Andrew by that time, my now husband. And I really didn't understand who I was, but I was getting downloads and I was getting messages, and I believed him, you know. And um, his son, I'm muscle testing what I can say. His son was at a track meet, and I had gotten a download that there was going to be a bomb going off at that track meet. And there were two shamans I know, and I called them both. And I said, I don't know what to do about it. I said, I'm just the messenger, but I can tell you this is what I'm hearing. And they moved it, and it went off in France in a safe place at the same time. The exact same time. And his son was saved. So that was my first experience about how we can move energy. Because an explosion had to happen. It just didn't have to happen there. So we have the power to heal. We have the power to heal ourselves. You don't need a drug. And I'm not saying that there are not times to have a drug. Like if there's an emergency, there's a broken leg, or, you can fill in the blank. I don't want to bring that into the field. But drugs are meant to be used, in my opinion, for a very short period of time. They're not meant for 10 years, certainly not meant for 19 years, which is, right? And we have choices. So let's talk about that, shall we? Okay. So, for one, when you have pain, let's say you have tooth pain, right? Or you're going in to the dentist, and you can use frankincense essential oil and lavender essential oil. And you can apply it topically outside, or you can do it on the inside of the gum. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not playing one on the radio. We're talking. What's that? I did not. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. But the thing is that we're also not giving you prescriptions here, and we're not telling you that this is the right thing for you. But what I am telling you is that there are options. Okay. So don't go getting off your medications if you take them. You're not allowed to do that. Okay. You are allowed to see a qualified health practitioner or somebody who might be certified in essential oils and a medical intuitive. But you do need to see a qualified health practitioner. Anyways, and your definition of the qualified health practitioner. Okay. So did I cover all the legal stuff? I, I did, yeah, I did say that. That was the first word. Yeah. So I'm just, we are not medical doctors. There we go. Okay. But there are options um, for pain. There's options for nerve pain. Um, Muscle pain and nerve pain are completely different, and they're handled differently. And so there are, different plants for each one. Um, we put them in, nice little bottles, make it convenient for you. Um, One of the things that can cause a lot of pain and can cause a lot of weight gain and anxiety and stress are the electromagnetic frequencies in your home. And I had really a big scare. I didn't know what was going on with me, and I finally figured it out. I moved here. I was my thin self. Andrew and I were staying in a hotel for a few months until we found an apartment. And here we are. Didn't understand why I was gaining weight. I'm strict with my diet. I'm just it doesn't even faze me. I've never been an overeater until I was actually on drugs, and it's shifted how my brain worked, and I didn't turn off the I'm satiated part. But I'm not on drugs, and I am satiated, and I was gaining weight. Why? 15 smart meters on my wall. One smart meter is equivalent to, I think, 140 to 160 phones. And my husband hopefully will pipe in here and let me know if I got that number right. But it's huge. It's like it's significant. And I did a video on it on YouTube, and I encourage y'all to go look for it. It says 5G on it. It says weight gain, and it's in your bedroom. And what I will tell you is you're not supposed to have over 0.3 hertz, milligauss, sorry, in the home, and not over zero point 0.5 or 0.05, sorry, in the bedroom. And we went over 100. So we took our tri-field meter out. It's over 100. So if you're having anxiety and stress, so he was right. So it's 140 to 160 phones is one smart meter. And we have 15. So if you're having anxiety and stress, you need to relook at how you're addressing that, right? One, you can use lavender. There is a PubMed study for that. Oh, Craig is saying there's audio trouble. First of all, thank you, Craig, for letting us know, and thank you for piping in. If you try YouTube, if it's not working on Facebook, and what I'll do real quickly is I'll put in all the links for all the other places. I'll just do a quick copy paste. Copy here. Oh, it's going to come through as many links, but that was probably not a good idea. But anyway, here's YouTube. I'm going to do these again. I'm going to make your life easier. Ignore those and let me put in separate links. So, I'll give you the YouTube link first. Okay. There you go. There's YouTube right here. Make that easier for you because the other thing is just a little overwhelming. And then, and looks like Facebook is live. So that's good because I'm on myself now. And so it's the same link. So let me go there. Well, we are on Facebook, but I'll for other people, we'll put it there. So what are some of the solutions, the holistic solutions that you use, Michelle? Yes, I hear where you're going with this, so yes. Right, right. Well, I actually that is a road we need to go down, right? That's exactly the road because so here's the thing, even if you're getting rid of the pain using lavender, like and it will heal the cells, it won't damage, we still have to get to the root cause, which is your mindset, your emotional well-being. So take it away, girlfriend. Go ahead. I'm listening. Yeah, 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 so you don't have to be liked by everybody. Go ahead. Yep. Is it new moon or full moon? It's full moon, lovey, but we are so happy to have you here. Yeah, we love you. Oh, even if it wasn't early, we would give her grace anyway because I love Chris. Oh my god, I love Chris. Yeah, double grace. If you have anger. Well, what if you have anger? Mhm. Yep. Well, wait, are we human beings or are we human doings? Just say. Thank you. Takes a while. Well, yeah, it's like what happens when you ignore the light on your car? When that light goes off? Oh, so, like, if you don't pay attention to your own check engine light, you're gonna be stuck on the side of the road there too. Wow. Well, and Chris says here hold on, so Chris is saying let me see if I can get it up here. She says, "Emotions are there for us to address and work through." And that's the truth. Mhm. Well, and let's talk about that great physical or emotional diet, right? Because you may think that you are. We have to go to commercial, but I want to come back and talk about the emotional diet. And I want to talk about the Akashic records, which are really, in a lot of ways, patterns in your brain that don't need to be there. They were never yours to begin with. Okay. So we're going to talk about patterns in your mind. Some of them are conscious and some of them are unconscious. And we're going to talk about, what that looks like and how that shows up. I'm just Here we go. So let me go to a couple commercials and then everyone grab yourself like a cup of joe, like maybe have my Ticino dandelion coffee that I have here, or whatever suits your fancy. All right. Be right back. Okay, we are back. So, we're basically going to be talking about mindset, patterns, emotions, and how they all drive your health, right? Anything, did I miss anything, Michelle? Okay. All right. So, both of us access the Akashic records. I'm just going to dive right in. And let's put it into layman terms. We access a level of consciousness that allows us to delve into the history of that particular soul. Would you agree? Part of it. Mhm. Oh, yeah, part of it, for sure. Why don't you go ahead and finish up? Yeah. Yes. Oh, absolutely, and thank you for bringing the distinction. Mhm. So, there exists in in that history things that happen that may have traumatized us in this lifetime or past lifetimes, and it's an unconscious pattern that's repeating, and it's driving your present and your future. Would you agree with that? And what do you want to add? I hear you. Yeah, until we right, until we become aware and change it. Um, I'll put myself on the stage. I had a pattern that was showing up. And I know it's been like that way for decades. I mean, for as long as I've been alive, that people don't do what they say they're going to do. People are unreliable. Cancel, 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 cancel. Okay. So Andrew and I do a lot of work. Listen, I'm sure you and Bill do too. And we just, to manifest what we want, we have to address our, the dark side, let's say, or our shadow work. And to have inner peace and to have world peace, you have to work on yourself first. And spirit pretty much hit me across the head with a 2x4 this last week. I mean, really. I mean, if God was sitting there with a 2x4, and Christ was a carpenter, right? And so, I will say two things. There were certain people I kind of expected not to show up, right? But then the and so it's like, okay, here we go again. I kind of figured that's who you were, right? But then someone didn't show up and I knew that wasn't who she was. And and I was really upset, and it came at me on Sunday like a quadruple play. God's like, if you don't get rid of this out of your field now, I'm gonna have a conniption fit, right? He's like, really? Message from your timeline. And this one was not as easy to erase from my timeline because I had a curse on me. And so my friend uh, Philip Shannon, and I saw it. Like there was a curse, and there was this like white parasite looking thing that was going down my spine. I mean, it's energy. It's a physical manifestation, and when we pulled it out of my body energetically, and I'm walking outside in the woods, and literally, um, I was just bawling. I was crying my eyes out because, first of all, you're used to having, so I want you to know that's nothing to be scared of, because you're used to having this energy in your physical body, okay, in your spiritual body, and now it's gone. So it's always, crying is a normal response and release. And then, like, maybe after 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes of crying, I had joy. I wonder why they thought I was flipping bipolar. I'm sorry. So anyway, the point is that, there's two things. One, everything, if you want it, you can have it. Like, if you want to fix something, I want to say everything's fixable, but there's a caveat. You have to want to fix it yourself, and within community. I mean, like, you don't have to do it yourself, but you have to yourself have to have the desire to have a better version of you in the next day or next moment. Let me see what we got here. Yeah. So Andrew says, yes, it's not what happens to us, it's how we handle it and how we respond. Absolutely. Do you want to add to that, Michelle? Like, to anything that we just shared, or go to different? Yeah. Yeah, we die. Hmm. Well, what about old souls? Talk about old souls, Michelle. Talk about old souls, because what you're talking about kind of tips on the topic of, the fact that we have many lives, right? And so we come back. Yeah. Mhm. Right. So I that's a great job, and I think, I'd like to add to that, it's not just that. I mean, the reason, I one of the reasons people die is because 'cause they're not willing to learn their lessons. So when that signal in the car goes off and you're ignoring that red light, but now that you're the car, right? And the red light is the symptom, and you continue to ignore it, there's only so much that your body can do. And so, here, one second. Andrew said, really interesting insight about the impact that some people can make even if they leave this world at a young age. Yeah, some of these people here, Andrew, are here as a lesson to us, to teach us. They come here, they die early to teach the rest of the world a lesson, and they know that before they come down. So, and thank you. So the um the point is that, if you're not willing to look at yourself and you're not willing to listen to people, and really, because if spirit can't get you the message, they're going to send it to you in a song, a billboard, a friend, a sibling, um radio show. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, I forgot about us. So, you know i mean I basically got hit over the head with a 2 by 4 all week last week, because we're in a huge time. I don't know if anybody knows this, but we're in a yeah, it's a full moon. And Chris, I know I emailed this to you, Michelle, you probably already know about it. And not that Chris that you didn't, but I mean, just whatever. Today starts a transit, and I think Chris had said, here we go, Saturn and Capricorn. And there's actually, we're in the Piscean age, but there's something more to it. And go see. Yeah, so we're shifting over to the Piscean age. But this exact pattern that we have in the universe right now, and I'm not an astrologer on any level, okay? But I read it from someone, a trusted source, is the same pattern we had in 1964 to 1967. Civil uprising in China, Vietnam, JFK assassinated. Okay? You guys following me? Actually, JFK was assassinated in 63. But the thing is that, we're at a time where things are really going to shift, and there's, I was seeing this civil uprising, which we started having in February, in many places. I saw that coming a long time ago, and I had no idea because I'm not an astrologer that it's actually a pattern in our planetary alignments. And so this is a time of change, and this is also a time of manifestation. So if something is pinging you, like it keeps on coming up, that is your signal to address it and get rid of it. And if you've tried, let's say, conventional ways to get rid of the issue, whatever it is, emotional, physical, whatever, spiritual, come see us because we have a different way and it works. And I will tell you, it's probably deeper than what you have access to. And Michelle and I both have access to our higher consciousness. So with actually, and so we can go in there and support you. So with that being said, I'm going to say there's two opportunities for healing. Number one, tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, which is 7 Central, 5 Pacific. We have the Global Quantum Healing event, and I will put that link in the thread. It's an hour. It's $33, people. $33. You really can't go wrong with the $33 healing for an hour. And the last one was amazing. So I will do my best to share these in here because if I go to YouTube and grab the link, we might have an interference on the show, but we'll do my best. But you can also, let me just do this. You can also email me for that. So it's Jodi at SusanEssentials.com. Or text me at 847-738-0242. And so there's that. The second, let me just do that. There we go. Thing is Thursday. And it's a 2-hour event. It's with Michelle and I, so that you can shine your light. And it's 6:30 at night for 2 hours, in person or virtually. We have Zoom. And by the way, if you did the last quantum healing and you had YouTube, we're doing Zoom. So your experience will be nicer. Just saying. We all learn. And so again, if you're interested in this Thursday night where we're accessing the Akashic records for you and helping you heal, and you should reach out to Michelle or me for that information. And I will also put the link here. But I know we have many of you listening on the radio, and so you can't see the link. So I'm going to ask you to text me at 847-738-0242. Michelle, do you want to share how to get in touch with you and, for your peeps? Okay. Yeah. And actually I do have an easy way. Let me just go here. I'm just going to show this on StreamYard here. Mhm. Woodstock. Well, it's interesting that you say about you put that on. So last night, before I went to bed, so here's the other thing. There was some, we'll just call it dark energy. It was on my website. And my website, see like the picture we have here of us, all the images were duplicating like bunnies. Yeah, it would have taken my website down. But I have an amazing web developer who, if you need a web developer, you need to call me because this woman's amazing. Um, anyways, and she's an intuitive web developer and intuitive. Thank you. Anyways, so I cleared that, and then I cleared my YouTube channel because I felt like there was energy on that. And then I said, Andrew, I kind of think that we should clear, because Andrew, of course, did this with me. So I kind of feel like we should clear all of the social media channels that we have, and we did, but not just ours. We cleared all of them, of course, the best that we could. He's like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "I feel this throughout my entire body," you know. He's like, "It's like pulsating." Yes, it is, Dolly. So the point is that um, we have there's a lot to clear, and we do it better in community. And so if you're a healer, actually, I'm being called to tell this. Spirit's telling me to tell people this. If you're listening to this and you're a healer, Spirit is asking you to actively participate in clearing things that are not necessarily yours. Do prayer. He's asking prayer on earth, prayer for the water, prayer for other people you don't even know, prayer on technology, prayer for people who are running technology, prayer to remove interferences of that technology, prayer to remove interferences, any dark energy that anywhere, right? It's your divine right to have access to source energy, and if you have that access, it's also now your divine responsibility to start helping and do the work. We need your help. Mhm. 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 Yeah, there's a lot of people that I do free healings for, Michelle, and I'm sure you do too. Um, they don't have the money. They're very good souls. Um, some of them know that I do it, some of them don't. Most of them don't. I just do it, because we can't leave our fellow light workers who may not have money right now behind. Yeah. Did I lose you in there? Are you Oh, okay. It's hard to tell. Um, yeah, there's some confusion there. So, um, Chris was just saying, because we're a little bit behind on this, and we have to run to commercial again. But she says, significant conjunction. She goes, I've been seeing Saturn for weeks coming in. The song sound of the universe definitely is changing. Oh, absolutely. And then she also says, prayer to elevate the world and everything in it. Amen, sister. And before we go to commercial, I want to just show the other. Yeah, so the one tonight, you guys, is in that. So the one that Michelle and I are doing in person, which is 2 hours, is 111 $111 angel number, and the one tonight, also an angel number, is $33. And it's quantum global healing. Let me see, is that showing up? Yeah, it is. Um, yeah, wow, and you wanna talk powerhouse? Um, and actually, I'm gonna read this. He says, "Quantum global healing, world peace through inner peace." He says, "For centuries, Buddhist monks have set intentions and impacted the world around us. In numbers, as we've been speaking, you and I, Michelle, in numbers, we are more powerful. We can create abundance, peace, freedom, and safety. And if you choose to feel the love in the world, it will love you back. It starts with us. Your thoughts not only impact your own reality, they affect stars and planets and other dimensions and galaxies. Yeah, just let that sit with you for a while. Okay. So, yeah, we're not alone here. Don't don't fool yourself. Join us in creating a world of peace and love on the journey inward. Be the powerful soul and unleash the power within your mind and heart as Dr. Stephen Spencer and Reverend Jodi Suson-Calhoun, my name is way too long, guides into the world of unlimited potentials through the quantum field. Be love. Now, here's the other thing we like to give back. 22% of the investment will be donated to the Alliance for Natural Health and the Organic Consumers Association. You can cancel at any time. And the reason we chose these places is because they're helping support regenerative farming and, healing the planet. So, um, this is not the Organic Consumers Association isn't about like the certification. They're the ones who are promoting healing the planet, getting rid of the toxins. Same with Alliance for Natural Health. The Alliance for Natural Health is uh, protecting our rights to natural medicine. I mean, I can't tell you for how many years they've been trying to get N-acetylcysteine off the shelves and categorized as a drug. And, you can put two and two together, what's been going on the last 3 years, what would have helped it. I'm just saying, not saying a word, but I'm saying. I'm going to go to a quick commercial. What are we going to talk about when we come back, Michelle? All right. All right. You see if I can find the commercial. There she is. Woo-wee. Okay, one more quick commercial, and we're going to talk about mindset and probably something else too. All right, we are back. So we're back. She's back. Poltergeist. Um, that last commercial about my, toxic free living. The tagline that I recently created for this is emotional healing through toxic free living. And I want to just share where this was really born out of. Let me go take you back to 2014 where I'm disabled, right? And the um, Ty Bollinger of The Truth About Cancer, had his docuseries. And the second docuseries, which is actually, the following year, he said on stage, you can eat all the organic food you want, and you're still going to get cancer unless you deal with what you and I are going to talk about right now, your mind. He says, unless you deal with what's between your ears, is what he said. So what Michelle and I are talking about today, what we're offering you, is critical for for the vitality of your life. What do you think are some of the mindsets people have around health? Oh, huge. Mhm. Genetics, right? Oh, bad luck. Bad luck is a big one that Andrew and I hear a lot. It's just bad luck. I'm like, "No, it's not. It's your behavior." I have to die sometime. Mhm. Right. So and actually, that's exactly right. We actually have someone in our family, on Andrew's side, who is still living, doing really well, very old, and she's happy. And she doesn't smoke anymore, drinks like a fish. Um, but, she's happy. Like, and she doesn't think she's getting disease. She doesn't think about it, you know? And so, um, that's huge. So if you want to be like that person, drink like a fish, eat all the crappy food, but think that I mean, okay, it's probably not really happening. It's very few of us. Um, I love the one runs in the family. Oh, so and so had it, so no, I'm going to get it, right? And so that's actually a big one that's been coming up a lot. They go, "Oh, my sister had it, this person had it, this person had it, so I'm going to get it." And so that pattern of I'm going to get it is what causes you to get it. Not because and genetics don't need to be expressed. Let's just talk science for a minute. Genes don't have to be expressed when you have the proper nutrition. And I'm going to go on a limb, and this is not science, it's metaphysics. Genes don't have to be expressed if you have the right mindset. Okay. Yeah. So if we were going to shift minds, oh, go ahead. Yeah. Hmm. 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 Absolutely. Well, and also not saying, and also not making the disease you, right? Because when, well, so back in the day when I was misdiagnosed having bipolar disorder, I didn't say I have bipolar disorder. What did I say? I'm bipolar. Big difference. I had made it part of my identity. It is so not my identity. And what is Chris saying here? She says, you want to read or yeah, that's powerful. So like you're just opening the door, come on in, right? You have a ticket to the party, right? Because someone else in the family had it. So you're welcome. But the truth is you're not welcome. Right. Mm-mm. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. Mhm. Well, because it's the subconscious mind. It's your subconscious mind, and we have to look at those patterns. And those subconscious patterns, this is really something that you need to look at. If you wanna shift the trajectory of your life, of your health, look at your subconscious mind. And most of you cannot do this on your own. Just gonna tell you, it's not I mean, it's a hard thing to do until you learn how. Honey, I enlist you to help me. I mean, I mean, I enlist you to help me. You yeah, I mean, holy crap. Mhm. Yeah. I tried. It's hard to see the picture when you're inside the fram. Interesting question. Okay, you go first. So do I. Yeah. Mm. Most of it's not. Mhm. So, especially if they can't self-protect and self-heal. Well, that's most of the universe. And and let me just see this. Me I want to take a deeper dive on this. So, let's just call it like it is. One, everything's energy, right? Two, energy knows no bounds. So, if you and I are sending great energy to each other, you're going to feel it, I'm going to feel it. In the same light, if you're angry with someone, they're going to feel it. Okay. So if you can latch onto that concept, if this is new to you, okay, understand people can feel your feelings and you don't have to be in the same room or the same state or the same country. So there's that. Now, if you're in utero and you have those fears as the mother carrying or the father, right? That and I'm going to tell you something. When you have sex with someone, let me just pause on the other part. When you have sex with someone, you're transferring traumas. Yeah, including the good and the bad. So the traumas are being transferred each time you're having sex. Think about that when you decide to have casual sex, okay? Yeah, think about that hard. Okay, and I'm not putting a judgment, by the way, on your sexual anything. I'm just telling you that's what it is, right? So that's what you're getting. Right, yeah. Okay, so now that we know that you transfer traumas on with sex as well as with the good stuff, and we know that energy flows. Okay, I've captured both of those. Just got to make sure we're so just for transparency, Michelle and I are both very tired. So we're doing the best that we can. So, and then the third thing is since we know that energy has no bounds and we transfer traumas with sex, what do you think's happening to that baby? There's a lot of women that I've worked with. Um, I don't have it here. Oh, I do have it here. Hold on. I have the BOD, which is that sound frequency device, and it comes with the headset, right? Which I don't have the headset here, which is no big deal. So, but I take that headset and I put it on the pregnant belly because it puts the brain in a theta state. So if I put one on the mother's ears and one on the belly for the baby. So what that does is it allows the baby to put its brain in the theta state and the mom to put her brain in the theta state and clear traumas, right? It's a beautiful thing when you decide not to go with the current reality of how we do things in the past and you start listening to God about what you can do for the future. And in sound, it's the theta state. It's creativity. It's not going to hurt you. So, we have an opportunity, and I'm sorry I'm long-winded today because I'm just exhausted, so I'm rambling. Um, we have an opportunity to shift energy. And that's what Michelle and I are really just talking about. That's all. We're shifting energy that doesn't serve you. We're shifting energy out of your physical and spiritual body, giving it to God, giving it to Christ for Him to carry, because you don't need to carry it anymore. It's not yours. Most of it wasn't yours. When you were born with like whatever it is that you're born with, and answering that question about that child that was born with disease wasn't his to begin with. Never was. So why are you owning it? If you have a disease or you have something, whatever, and you think, oh, I have it, and I'm hearing this loud and clear, I have this disease because so and so had it and so had it. No, you don't. You have the disease because you think you have the disease. You chose it. And Chris said how it's in our field. Disease is in your field at least 5 years out. At least. So stop it, because I hear someone talking about this right now. Stop it. You don't need to do this anymore. You're living someone else's life, and it's not yours. And so once you choose to get rid of somebody else's belief systems and just kind of get comfortable with what yours are, which by the way, you're going to have to explore what those are, right? But in order for you to explore your own belief systems, you're going to have to get rid of everybody else's first. Just saying. Mm. Boom chakalaka. And yeah. Okay, is this it? I would also add some of us choose to enter that way for the growth we're looking to receive. Totally. Go ahead. I mean, do you want to say more? Okay. Exactly. Yeah. right? And if you're a master manifester, right? If you're really good at manifesting your life, the good stuff, know that you're equally responsible for manifesting the bad. Yep. Mhm. Oh, thank you. Can we talk about that? Okay. So forgiveness is huge. Okay, I had an epiphany the other day. There were certain people that kept, I take demons off of people, right? And there were certain people that kept on getting their demons back. And I'm like, that's weird, right? Now, I already knew that when you get an entity, a negative entity, it's because you're having these low vibrational thoughts. Okay. And so it's an entryway, typically through your cervical spine, your C1 and C2, right where the atlas sits, that they come in. Well, here's the thing, same with the demon, but it's worse. So you have to be, what's the word I want to use? It's there's a specific word I had that was given to me. Um it was in the Bible. Hold on one second, because it's let me just see if I can find this. Hold on. So in the Bible, it talks about self, like it's not self deprecation, but self, like almost like self abandonment. You know what I'm saying? Like you're let me just see if I can find this. Self condemnation. Here it is. Here was the download, because I actually typed this one out. This person had an issue with self condemnation, especially like when receiving feedback. So, this self condemnation allowed the demon to enter and take over the physical and spiritual body. And so, then when you looked it up in what does that mean biblically? The condemnation means to pronounce to be guilty, to sentence to punishment, or to pass judgments against. And Satan is called the accuser of the brethren. And so, and what does the Bible say when you, does it say, I don't condemn yourself? It says, blessed is the man who does not condemn himself by what he approves, but the man who has doubts is condemned if he eats, because he's eating not from faith, and everything that does not come from faith is sin. So meaning that if you're focused on all the negativity, you're playing for the other side. That, I mean, and I'm not a Bible bumper by any stretch, but I'm trying to explain that if you are focused on negativity, you're basically playing for the other side and allowing that frequency of demonic possession, negative entities to come into your field. And that's your choice. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Well, yeah, I mean, because 'cause I'm and oh, so thank you. Can I add to that? Yeah, keeping yourself in a high vibration, knowing about disease and illness, and even having thought processes about it. I'll give you an example. Like you can tell, like I tell my health story, but I don't have energy around it. I'm not sobbing about it. I'm not having guilt. I'm not having shame, which is 20 on the vibrational scale. Um, I'm not having these low vibe. I'm just like, hey, this is what happened here, right? You keep it here, keep it up, and use it as a tool, but don't let it use you. So, what do you want to be, the dog or the tail? Well, it can have some humor. Mhm. We do. Yeah, with the energy we put out. Let me ask you a question. What are the one of the ways, because I'm sure there's more than one, that you can recommend to people to not put energy on their stories? Ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm. right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sucks. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, and what you're describing is, in my opinion, is the concept of being the observer. So it's yeah. So if you and I learned how to do that a few years ago when because I in a past life I was burned at the stake. So I was told, okay, be the observer. So you don't have to feel the flame, you don't have to feel the anger, you don't have to feel the shame, you don't have to feel any of that. And so if you can take yourself out of the situation, sometimes easier said than done, trust me. So go for a walk, then take yourself out of the situation. But and be the observer. I mean, and that's really what you're talking about. And so from a tactile approach, really go for a quick walk, like down the street or something, and um, and then try to breathe, like close one nostril, breathe in, get oxygen to your brain, because when we get an upset, we actually stop breathing. Makes us angrier. Does fuels the fire, not your soul. So those are just a couple things, and I think that really what you're saying is so spot on. You know, so thank you for that. So this is how you get in touch with Michelle. This is how you get in touch with me. Please text me or email Michelle. Text for me 847-738-0242. Michelle and I have the event on Thursday. It's 111. We're going to do a 2-hour healing session, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time for 2 hours. You can join us via Zoom, or you can come here in person. I'm in Kennesaw, but held in Kennesaw, Georgia. Shine your light, right? Let's strip away a few things so you can shine your light. Um, and then tonight for $33, we have the global quantum healing, and it's just to me. And let me just kind of give you an idea. I had my biggest month ever in February in the history of my company because of and I attribute it to the quantum global healing because we removed the topic for that one was stepping into your power. So I mean, and the money just keeps on flowing in. So if financial abundance is important to you, honesty, transparency, those things, $33, it's a pretty good investment. And it is a monthly investment, but you can cancel at any time. So if any time you don't think that you're getting the value, which would be hard for us, but if you don't, I mean, we're gonna, we're surrender. Someone wants to say hello. So, and you've got birds in your background. Do you hear that? Yeah, and so that's when birds show up, or you want to look up the type of bird, find out what their spiritual meaning is, because the universe is talking to you. Remember, we talked at the beginning of the show, like they'll hit you over the head with that God hit me over the head with a 2x4 to let me release a frequency that they didn't want me bringing into today, right? So it was handled yesterday, uh, just in time. But the point is that, like, we have chameleons that show up, and they're talking about being agile, and there's specific birds that are talking about, family and community, and other birds, depending on the type of bird, might be about renewal or abundance. So look up, find out what kind of bird it is or what kind of animal it is. Look it up. Find out what the universe is trying to tell you. Explore. Start looking at the things that are in front of you. Right, Fakey? Says yes, mommy. By the way, I want to go back. We have a couple minutes before we end, but I want to go back to the EMF situation. Pulse electromagnetic frequencies neutralizes out electromagnetic frequencies. Pulse electromagnetic frequencies is it's like a sine wave. It's a healing energy. We use it. It's in our beamer. So we have a beamer. We also use the cloud, which is another pulse electromagnetic frequency healing device. So, but the beamer has a sleep cycle. So it can run like for 8 hours, 9 hours. So one, we are now sleeping on our beamer. Number two, I let the beamer run all day long now for 9 hours. Why not? All I'm saying is get creative. You don't have to suffer. And I was suffering. And I want to tell you, and I want to own it. I made myself wrong first. My fault that I'm gaining the weight, although my diet never changed. And so I'm just going to tell you that, first of all, stop making yourself wrong. Because if I'm doing it and I'm a mindset coach, you are too. Mhm. Mhm. You're welcome. Well, and here's the thing, like, what people don't know that when I was 235 pounds and, inflated, like really swollen and had a lot of inflammation, I still thought I was beautiful. It wasn't until I lost the weight and then gained the weight that I Yeah, and the thing is that we go into blaming ourselves for these things, but I wanna just say this also, like, here's the thing, you can't blame yourself. First of all, are you gonna blame yourself for the electromagnetic frequencies that are on your wall, or the wiring that's incorrect or whatever? Um, I encourage you, if you're listening, I encourage you to go to my YouTube channel. Go to Susan Essentials and please subscribe. I actually never ask that, and you have one too. So I want you to go to Michelle. What is your YouTube channel called? Yes, which are great, by the way. They're free meditations. Yeah, which is right here, everybody. If you're looking now, if you're listening, we have a lot of listeners on right now.
90 seconds.
Yeah, and you can also follow Michelle on the Rockstar Coach on Facebook, right?
62.
And so yeah. What else? Oh, thank you. So there's these things, and then Google or do a search on EMF. Thank you. I got it. Do a search on the EMF, and you'll see we're measuring the EMF in our home, and there's other ones on EMF, and someone saw the video and said, hey, don't you have those Altera neutralizers? Shouldn't that neutralize it? It neutralizes the wiring in the house. Doesn't neutralize what's going on outside the house. Doesn't neutralize what's going upstairs with your neighbors. You still have to use oils. You still have to use PEMF. You still have to use all these. Bring in a lot of plants into your house. Okay. Bring in plants. So you have to take a multimodal approach because number one, it's a silent killer. If you listen to Dr. Mercola, he's like, it's the cigarettes of the 21st century. That's what he's saying because they're not even regulating it at this point. It's really dangerous. I mean, it's really dangerous. And for me, it's being pushed under the radar. And I'm just going to let this out. And I know we're about a minute over, but bear with me. So everyone's, and this is a distraction. They're complaining about the 5G towers going up, and the 5G towers are an issue. I will get to you in a second. Okay. The 5G towers are an issue. I'm not debating that, but I'm also telling you they're putting little 5G, we'll call it devices, in the street lamps where you live. And that's under the radar, and it's in your light bulbs. And it's changing the DNA of your food. So I'm just telling you, you can argue all you want about the 5G towers, but you got to look at everything else. And then you have to look at solutions, and you have to look at a multimodal approach because it's not a one and done. Okay. Fagla has a message because she's biting me. So what do you want to tell me? I know, right? Got it. She says, but the number one thing is to love on yourselves first. Love yourself first. She says, stop worrying about what everybody else is talking about. Stop worrying about what everyone else is doing. She says, focus on yourself and self-love. She goes and come to the classes that Michelle and Jodi are talking. I love you. Mwah. She's a little promoter. She's hilarious. Anything else or no? She goes, no, that's it. Thank you. So I just want to say thank you, Michelle, for being on the show. I'm so grateful to have you here once a month. I don't know if you know that. Okay. Thank you. It feeds my soul too, and I love you, and so grateful to have you in my life. So thank you. Mwah. So thank you everybody who showed up today on all the different platforms that we had. We're grateful for you. And we hope to see you tonight on the Global Quantum Healing. We hope to see you. We do have a limit for we don't have a limit for tonight. We do have a limit for Michelle and I, and the class is filling up fast. So that's Thursday. And be sure to, send me the text because I'll be able to get you the link pretty quickly. 847-738-0242. We'd love to have you at either or both events. And Bagler thinks it's important that you attend because we're in self-love mode. All right. Let's see here. Where's that little brand thing? She's laughing at me. She's Mommy just does not know how to do this.